Good day. This is our video supplementation for community engagement, solidarity, and citizenship. So this is for quarter 2, week 1, and week 2. Okay, in this video supplementation, we will talk about core values and principles of community action initiatives. And with this particular topic, we will discuss 4 subtopics, which are human rights, social equity, gender equity, and participatory development. So let's go to the first one, which is human rights. So human rights, the rights inherent to all human beings, whatever our nationality, place of residence, sex, national or ethnic origin, color, religion, language, or any other status. As you can see in this definition, it encompasses all human beings. So, in that definition, it says here that lahat tayo, lahat ng nabubuhay na tao ay meron tinatawag na rights o sa Tagalog, kung tawagin natin ay karapatan. So, when we say all human rights, walang sinisino, walang mayaman, walang mahirap, walang may trabaho, walang tambay. Lahat ng nabubuhay na tao ay merong karapatan. So, when we talk about these rights, ano-ano nga ba yung mga iba't ibang klase ng karapatan na ito? So, in this particular topic, we will discuss about 4 general categories of human rights. The first one is natural rights. The second one is civil rights. The third one is political rights. And the last one, social and economic rights. Under the natural rights, we have 3 specific rights. The first one, it's the right to life, the right to liberty, and the last one, the right to pursuit of happiness. So those 3 rights, they are included in what we call the natural rights, natural. So we are born with it. So the first one, yung karapatan natin mabuhay. Pangalawa is karapatan natin na maging malaya. And the last one, yung karapatan natin na sumaya. So tandaan, itong tatlo na ito, they are under the natural rights. The second one, we call it the civil rights. Under civil rights, we have the right to privacy, the right to property, the right to religion, the right to expression, the right to have contract, and the right to create a movement. So these are what we call our rights for being part of the community. So we call them the civil rights. Then the last one, we call it the political rights. So as you can see, under political rights, we have right to assembly, petition, right to suffrage, direct and indirect participation, self-determination, self-government, and election to public office. So ngayon napapanahon, political rights. Pag sinabi natin, ang pinaka-highlight nito yung karapatan natin bumoto o yung tinatawag nating right to suffrage. And then the second one, yung karapatan din natin na tumakbo o right to election to public office. So all of this, kahit sino, kahit anong estado natin sa buhay, kahit na anong estado natin sa komunidad, meron tayo nito. And the last one, we call it the social and economic rights. Under social and economic rights, we have livelihood, the right to equal opportunities, the right to education, the right to housing, to leisure and recreation, the freedom to choose one's occupation, to picket and to strike for better working conditions and various benefits to improve the quality of life. So under these social and economic rights, mga dinidiscuss dito is karapatan natin bilang individual na part ng isang organisasyon o isang grupo o part ng isang nagtatrabaho, kaya nga tinawag na economic, di ba? So, all of this, kung iisa-isahin natin, napakadami pala natin mga karapatan. And all of these human rights in general, karaniwan, hindi naman natin napapractice o hindi natin na-exercise. For example, as a student, ano, you have this political right to suffrage, pagboto. Ano, pero hindi mo siya pinapractice. Now, in that particular example, in that particular scenario, you are violating your own political rights. So, another example, if you are a new graduate and you want to apply for a job, okay? And upon applying for a job, you are interviewed by the boss, or you're interviewed by the human resource officer, and they tell you that you should not be part of any organization or any alliances within the workforce in order for you to be accepted in your job. So that particular scenario shows that the company is somehow violating your right to have this petition for the increase being part of a group, uh, to petition for better compensation or increase in your allowance or in your salary. So some companies nowadays, okay, they have this letter. Meron silang sulat na bago ka tanggapin, kailangan pirmahan mo na hindi ka part ng isang organization. Why? Because of this particular right. Okay? Meron ka kasing karapatan na bilang isang manggagawa na magpetisyon. Depende sa sitwasyon o sa trabaho mo, magpetisyon. Meron kang karapatan na magpetisyon na magkaroon ng aumento o magkaroon ng dagdag na sahod. So, those are some of the examples of what we call the human rights. And please remember, okay, we are so familiar with the human rights in terms of how other people are violating it. For example, the right to life, one of the natural rights that we have. Okay, when someone or a person hurt you or threatened to kill you, okay, that's a sure or a certain violation of the natural right or the right to life. But please remember that there are other things in our daily living, in our everyday life, that we do not recognize that some of our rights are being violated. So those simple rights that we have should be protected. Okay, so we have to have this awareness about these human rights. It's not all those wrongdoings that we see in the news, but also the small things that we do not notice, like for example, not participating in the election or not voting. Okay, though that particular example is one violation of your political rights. The second core value under the Community Action Initiative is social justice. So we have this definition of social justice, which is social justice as the humanization of laws and equalization of social and economic forces by the state so that justice may be at least be approximated. So first, let's define justice. In Tagalog, it's justisya. So ano bang intindi natin dito? Pag sinabi natin justice, it's being equal. Okay? Yung walang manlalamang. Yung hindi pwedeng tapakan ka ng isang tao. That's called justice. Getting what you deserve. Okay? So, if someone hurt you or someone do something bad to you, okay, syempre kailangan ng hustisya yun, na kailangan parusahan yung tao na yun. Now, iba yung tinatawag natin na social justice. Dun sa justice lang per se. Pag sinabi nating social justice, okay, we have these laws, in our community, in our country, in our state na sinusunod natin. So, pag sinabi nating social justice, ina-approximate natin yung mga laws na yun. Okay, we are reviewing, we are analyzing these laws na ini-implement natin sa ating lugar para ma-serve ang justice para sa lahat. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Meron kasing para makuha mo yung hustisya para sa isang tao, may mababiolate ka naman na karapatan ng ibang tao. Okay, for example, as a student, may nambuli sa'yo. And in your mind, para magkaroon ng hustisya, isusumbong mo siya sa nakakatanda mong kapatid para bulihin niya yung nambuli sa'yo. Okay? It looks like justice. Kasi binuli ka niya, ang magiging solusyon mo, isusumbong mo sa nakakatanda mong kapatid para mabuli din yun nambuli sa'yo. Now, that's not social justice. Bakit? Kasi yun nambuli sa'yo, it's a fact na meron din siyang karapatan na kailangan tignan natin o i-consider sa isang komunidad. So, doon pumapasok yung tinatawag nating social justice. Okay? So, there are objectives of this social justice. Ito yung mga objectives na yun. The first one, respect our rights and freedom as individuals and as people. Eliminate poverty as quickly as our resources and abilities would allow. The third one, provide everyone with their basic material needs. Improve the standard of living. And then the last one, change institutions and structures to address inequalities. So all of this, ito yung pinaka-goal ng ating tinatawag na social justice. To eliminate inequality. However, hindi ito yung kung sinaktan ka, sasaktan din natin na nakit sa'yo. Pag sinabi nating social justice, ito yung pag-consider ng mga karapatan ng bawat tao at pag-i-implement ng mga laws na walang masasagasaan o walang maargabyado sa mga tao na nakapaligid sa atin sa community. Hindi considering one right of an individual per se, but the betterment of the whole community. The third core value under the community action initiatives is what we call participatory development. Okay, this participatory development, it has three characteristics. The first one, it's cognitive. Second one, it's political. And the last one, it's instrumental. The first one, it's cognitive. It means that it allows us to generate new ways of understanding community issues and problem. Pag sinabi natin cognitive, ibig sabihin, nasa isip natin yon. Pagka nagpa-participate tayo or meron tayong pinapractice natin yung participatory development, okay, nasa isip siya. Nakakapag-generate siya ng new understanding. The second one, it's called the second characteristic, it's political because it capacitates the powerless. Kapag ka nagpa-participate tayo sa isang event, social event, it's political. Why? Kasi in a way, natutulungan natin yung mga tao, lalo kapag ka advokasya yung isinusulong natin. So it's political. And the last one, it's instrumental. Why? Because it proposes alternative solutions. Okay, when we say we exercise participatory development by joining an advocacy like the clean-up drive in our shoreline. Okay, it's one participatory development. It's being instrumental in a way that you are creating a solution for a problem. Or let's just say you are being the solution to the problem. So there are different forms of participatory development. The first one, it's passive participation. So ito yung pinakamababang participation natin, passive participation. Participation is at the minimum. Stakeholders are merely informed about the plans and the progress of projects. The people's involvement hardly goes past the discussion during meetings. So, ito yung pinakamababang participatory development natin. The second one, it's called participation by consultation. So, the stakeholders, sino yun? Tayo yun. Answer queries posed by external researchers or experts. For example, merong mga estudyante na nagsusulong ng paglilinis ng ating dalampasigan. Nagre-research sila at nag-join tayo o nag-participate tayo doon. Ang tawag doon is participation by consultation. The third one, participation by collaboration. Stakeholders with predetermined goals participate during the discussion, analysis, and decision-making stage. So, for example, sa ating barangay, merong discussion about sa proteksyon ng mga LGBTQ. So, we participate, we engage in the discussion about the particular topic. It's called participation by collaboration because we collaborate. Nag-engage tayo dun sa discussion nila sa barangay. And then the last one, ito yung pinakamataas na participatory development, we call it the empowerment participation. Pag sinabi nating empowerment participation, stakeholders actively participate in the process and its analysis. This features a joint decision-making process wherein stakeholders are considered equal co-partners with the external experts. For example, in our community, okay, we talk about cutting down the trees for modernization. Tatayuan natin ng mga establishment. Now, tinatawag na empowerment participation yung ating participatory development kung tayo mismo engage at tutok na tutok simula pa lang sa pagpaplano hanggang sa pag-i-implement na ng project na modernization dito sa lugar natin. And in the analysis part, kinukonsider tayo na parang co-partners ng mga magsasagawa ng participatory development na yun. Kumbaga, katuwang tayo na mga stakeholders. Tayo mga stakeholders na yun. At katuwang tayo nung magsasagawa ng project. So, it's called empowerment participation. So, gender equality does not denote that both genders are the same. It emphasizes equality of women and men as humans imbued with the same fundamental rights. Gender equality recognizes that men and women are of equal value and should be accorded equal treatment and opportunities. So when we say gender equality, we have this notion na women empowerment. Okay? But then, when we say gender equality, hindi lamang yung mga rights o mga karapatan ng kababaihan ang dinidiscuss dito. When we say gender equality, both men and women are equal. Both gender. Hindi women lang ang binibigyang importansya. Meaning, yung kung ano ang mga karapatan ng mga kalalakihan, ganun din naman ang karapatan ng mga kababaihan. Hindi naman aabot to the point na mga kababaihan lang ang kinukonsider natin when we say gender equality. Please remember na pag sinasabi natin itong term na ito, kinukonsider natin both genders and the other genders na iba dun sa dalawang gender na iyon. Papasok dito yung tinatawag nating LGBTQ, na kailangan equal yung pagtrato natin sa lahat ng mga genders na ito. So, in this particular core value, we have to consider that the rights that we have, the human rights that we have as an individual, it's the same right that other people with other genders, okay? It's the same rights that they have. So, when we talk about gender equality, always remember na hindi lamang ito about women empowerment, but rather it's about equality of all the genders. Now that we are done with the 4 core values under the community action initiatives, okay, let's go to the activities that you have to answer. The first one, the the first activity, it's my core values. So you just have to answer the following questions. The first one, what can you say about the pursuit of happiness as one of the natural rights? Nung masasabi nyo? Meron tayong tatlo. Anong masasabi nyo about this pursuit of happiness? Nakasama siya dun sa tatlo na pinaka-importanting rights natin. Pangalawa, locally, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear social justice? Okay. The third one, which among the four forms of participatory development is the most important for you? Ano sa tingin nyo yung pinaka-importante dito sa apat na ito? And then the last one, should a man sitting inside the bus offer a seat to a woman? Why or why not? Kung nakatayo tayo sa bus, bibigay ba natin yung upo natin sa babae? Bakit? Oo, bakit hindi? Sagutin natin. And then, the second activity, okay, we have this table that you have to fill out. So, the first column are the core values and principle of community action initiatives. Okay, you just have to rate the different core values. 1, being not implemented, and 10 strictly implemented in the community. So, i-rate natin yung sarili nating community. So, i-consider na lang natin yung kanya-kanya nating barangay. Kung nai-implement itong human rights na ito, social justice na ito, participatory development, and gender equality, you put 10. And then, kung hindi siya na-implement, kung hindi talaga na-implement, you put 1. Kayo na yung sasagot dyan. And then, the last column we have, what will you do to improve such rating? So, depende dun sa mga ratings na isasagot nyo, ano yung mga pwede nyong magawa para masolusyonan ito. Sir, paano kapag 10 yung binigay ko, pinaka-highest na po yun? Ano pa yung magagawa mo para mas ma-improve ito? So, that's all. So, good luck to your activities. And let's go to the last one, which is your reflection. So, this reflection, you just answer this question. So, for our reflection part, this is the question. This 2021, what community action initiative are you thinking of? How can you relate this to the core values and principles discussed above? So, kung ikaw mag-i-implement ng isang community action initiative, ano kaya ito? And paano mo ma-relate? Anong relasyon nitong maiisipan mong community action initiative na ito dun sa apat na diniscuss natin na core values and principles ng community action initiatives. So, that's it. Good luck and answer your activities carefully. Any questions that you have, you send me a message or you mention me to our group chat. Okay? And that's all. Thank you.